discuss about the differences between a part-time PhD student and a full-time PhD student at IIT Delhi. So mind you, not all universities and the colleges share the same kind of structure. This is very specific to IIT Delhi. Again, within IITs, all different IITs might have different formats or structures. All right. So first of all, let me tell you what is the typical timeline for a PhD student. One has to complete their coursework within 12 months. They have to complete their comprehensive and a research plan presentation by 18 months. And they have to show their work every 6 months as if like a progress report. And then within 5 years, they have to do their pre-PhD synopsis presentation. This is a typical timeline for a full-time PhD student. What is the difference for a part-time PhD student? Just two things. That is, the coursework has to complete it in 18 months, while the comprehensive exam and the research plan presentation has to be completed in 24 months. Now, you may ask, what is coursework? Coursework is a typical courses, master's level courses that a student has to choose and write exams, attend classes, and finish in good grades. That's coursework, a very typical work that you did in your master's. What's a comprehensive exam? Again, all the courses that you have chosen in your coursework, say you have chosen about 6 courses, all of those courses would have a comprehensive exam at the end after you finish all those courses, and you have to pass that comprehensive exam, and then you are eligible for a PhD. Otherwise, you have to discontinue. So that's a typical difference. Now, first of all, what is a coursework? In coursework, every department sets their own rules and regulations. For instance, the engineering department would have something different level of credits requirement, while the economics department would have a different credits requirement. So this, I'm talking about the humanities department, where they have to complete 18 credits of courses. Generally, a course would have 1 to 3 credits given per course. So eventually, if you have to say, if we have to complete 18 credits, roughly it would amount to 6 courses. And if a student chooses to do 3 courses per semester, a student would be able to complete 6 courses within 1 year. So which is why they have given 18 months, the full-time students can complete this by 12 months and a part-time student can complete this by 18 months. Now you have these written exams, you clear them, but you don't clear just passing grades. You have to maintain a certain level of grade points. Now that is where it comes that in the first semester, how many ever courses you take, a PhD student can have about 6 grade points, but not below that. Otherwise, that student has to discontinue. But overall, in the entire credits that they have gained, 18 credits, their pointer, the overall grade point has to be 7.5 and above. Otherwise, they have to discontinue. So this they have to maintain for them to continue with their PhD work. The other point that all PhD students have to undergo, whether a full-time or a part-time student, is that they have to create a student committee, research committee. Again, your supervisor will help you in setting this committee. It generally consists of 4 to 5 people, one or two supervisors who are guiding you, one external person, expert, internal expert, and a chairperson. So generally, this committee is about 4 to 5 professors or experts who will monitor your work very closely every semester, every 6 months, where you submit your progress report. So these are the people you really want to discuss your work with, take their guidance, take their suggestions, and eventually these are the people who are going to evaluate your work at the end when you are defending your PhD. The other point is the teaching assistants. Now, teaching assistants is applicable only to the full-time students because the institute or the JRF by the UGC are given fellowship to these students. The fellowship is roughly about 30 to 38,000, including the HRA. That is the institute fellowship. I'm not too sure about the JRF numbers, but overall, this teaching assistantship includes 8 hours per week, where the students have to assist professors in their work or the college duties. Now, we're not going to get into this. The part-time students don't get this because they're already earning from their employer, the organization, or the institution that they are associated with. So you have to let go of the teaching assistantship. You cannot claim this. The third one is finally the coursework requirements. We discussed about the courses that one has to complete. That is 18 credits, about 6 courses. But again, within those 6 courses, few are mandatory, such as the research methodology, HSL 814. For economics students, research methods in economics is a compulsory course. While other courses are elective courses, you might choose amongst the other courses which ones you want to pursue. There are few core courses that a student has to complete. For instance, in economics department, you have 3 core courses mentioned: microeconomics, macroeconomics, and advanced econometrics. Amongst these 3, you have to complete 2 core courses. Now, this is all again subject to change year to year as per the department's requirements. So you have to closely check these requirement criteria when you join as your PhD student. All right, so keep an eye on this as well. These are the top needs for you to pursue PhD and complete PhD. While now going into the admin part, what is the fee structure difference from a full-time PhD student to part-time PhD student? So essentially, there are 3 main components to it: the tuition fee, other charges, and hostel rent. For the part-time student, the hostel rent is 0, of course, because they don't get to stay in the premises or the campus of the institute. While the tuition fee is higher for the part-time student than the full-time student, and the other charges are lesser for part-time student because we tend to use lesser facilities of the campus, and hence a little higher for the full-time students. Now, so it overall comes to 30,000 to 31,000 for the part-time students. This is for semester 2, and in semester 1, it is relatively lower. But if you see the overall picture, yearly, it comes to about 51,000 for full-time student, and for the part-time student, around 45,000. Right. So this is also one of the criteria that one has to keep in mind, that being a part-time student, sometimes the charges are higher, the fees are higher, but in some cases, like such as hostel rent and other charges, would be a little lower for you. So this is one other criteria that you might want to keep in mind before venturing into the admissions of PhD. Finally, if you are a new student coming into the campus, this is how the academic year typically looks like. The first semester is July to November, then you have a winter break of a month around. Then from January to May, you have your second semester, and then from May to July, you have your summer break as well. So this is a typical academic year, but for more details about which courses are offered, when are they offered, what are the time slots that they have been offered, so that you can choose which are relevant for you, especially for those part-time students. You don't want to clash them with your work hours. So you really want to check which courses are being offered during your off work hours. So you want to check the website on timely basis, because all the details are easily available for students on the IIT Delhi website. So this is how a typical PhD student juggles their PhD work and maintaining that student academic year. I hope this really helps you. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll be getting back to you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.